EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. It's opening round coverage of the United States Open Championship.
And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways. This golf course always requires the utmost precision.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Still even par for the day. The par 3 8th. This is where Angel Cabrera, Sunday at the U.S. Open in 2007, made a deuce, and it was set up to play at 300 yards on that final day. Now, this is all you want, Frank, in a par 3.
Yeah, it was the first 300-yard par 3 ever in a U.S. Open.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options, and you don't have to hit the ball first.
Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. And now to the 9th, and in case a player has forgotten somehow that he's at a U.S. Open, the 9th will remind him very quickly that this is the national championship. This is demanding. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that line.
I didn't think that was doable.
See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. I don't know, maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked. He has this for par. With that par, moving into a tie for the lead.
It's about to get interesting.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, I liked that. tell you, there's long and long, and that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie.
Settles in over the putt.
It's a cool game.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
Hard-fought par right there. Par 4 11th is 379 yards as we continue the backside here at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Frank, what's the strategy off the tee here?
You're hitting something that goes about 240, 250 yards maximum, hopefully keeping it out of that right rough. And the reason why that right rough is certainly to be avoided is that big gaping bunker at the front of this green. Green's perched up a little bit, so this is another one where if you can hit an iron or a utility club off the tee, you must find the fairway.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So they get it to 2 under with that birdie. We are at the par 5 12th here at Oakmont. This is a big par 5 at 667 yards. How about that tee-ball? Not just in the fairway, but way down the fairway.
Yeah, a lot of people can hit it long and crooked. Long and straight, that's the hard one to get. That is absolutely in prime position.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
And it makes the green in regulation. And with that, he'll go to 3 under. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States, Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees have been removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say we putt on these greens every single day and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf.
This is a good-looking shot. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Par yesterday, now for birdie. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
In for par. U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, you've played in so many of them, are supposed to be demanding and tough. This is what a U.S. Open's all about. Par 3 and nearly 300 yards. That's the 8th at Oakmont.
It's not just the length, too, but this is a typical Oakmont green, which means it's not easy. There is an option, though, if you can't reach this green, or at least fly it on, you might get a lucky bounce to kick forward. You'll see a lot of people chipping from around the front edge of this green, and there's no shame in that.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Putt for par. He needs one. Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole, runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is that nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Are you for real? It was terrible.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par 4, 462 yards.
Yeah, this one can play a lot of different distances. And the reason why is if you can sneak a driver to catch the downslope, it can run all the way down. You can have just a wedge in here. If you're not as fortunate and you leave it hanging up on that hill, it plays a good 200 yards for your second.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Setting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Now this for birdie came away with par the previous round. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And getting ready for the putt. That is a solid par putt. Frank, it's only 379 yards, a par 4. You thinking birdie here at the 11th?
You would think for that distance, no, but you take 4 here. It's a stringent tee shot. The fairway doesn't really look pleasing to the eye. It looks like it moves out to the left, but that's exactly where those bunkers are. So more often than not, we see players hitting out of the right rough. And back in 1994, this is where the playoff finished with Lauren Roberts and Ernie Els. This looks like it's going to find the target.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Misses the putt here, has to try again and add another stroke to the scorecard.
Even par currently.
Good putt. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch of the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sports, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Holy drive. Just tattooed that. And his second shot with par 5. just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. It's a long way away.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Almost. Wow. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Well, the good short par 4 has become standard at most modern U.S. Opens. Here's an example, Frank, 382-yard fifth.
Yeah, this is where you have to play the percentages. If you're going to play a hole 4 times, if I put myself in the fairway 4 times with a long iron, will I play the hole under par? That's the strategy here.
In the fairway, down there about 290. Let's see what happens now on this second shot here at the 5th hole at Oakmont. Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Just a couple of feet. Cleans that up in the hole. Frank, you played the U.S. Open and nearly won it back in 1994 at Oakmont, so you remember this par 3-6, the 194 yards. It's changed a bit since then. How?
It has. They've actually made the green a little bit bigger, and how they managed to do that, they took away a bunker that used to be behind the green a little on the left side. It's not really made the hole any easier, but it still suits like a little bit of a cut. And there's something that starts on those left bunkers and works its way back towards the middle of the green. The reason why that's a better shot is because the slope of the green goes in the opposite direction. So it's one way to keep the ball straighter.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage, and you're not going to birdie every hole.
Frank, the 7th here at Oakmont at 434 yards looks like your prototypical U.S. Open hole in that it requires some accuracy off the tee.
It does, and the bunkers are exactly where you would like to hit it, that sort of awkward distance. So if you want to challenge this hole off the tee, you're going to bring the 5 bunkers into play, the 2 on the left and the 3 on the right.
Just making it look easy. Picks the spot, sees it, and then hits it. All day long. Hasn't missed a fairway. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, you've played in so many of them, are supposed to be demanding and tough. This is what a U.S. Open's all about. Par 3 at nearly 300 yards. That's the 8th at Oakmont.
It's not just the length, too, but this is a typical Oakmont green, which means it's not easy. There is an option, though, if you can't reach this green, or at least fly it on, you might get a lucky bounce to kick forward. You'll see a lot of people chipping from around the front edge of this green, and there's no shame in that.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
So a tester from 4 feet. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
And now to the 9th, and in case a player has forgotten somehow that he's at a U.S. Open, the 9th will remind him very quickly that this is the national championship. This is demanding.
There's something about a well-hit shot. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Has it. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the United States Open Championship. It is known as one of the toughest golf courses in the world. And today we're here in Western Pennsylvania at Oakmont Country Club. Originally opened 1903 and designed by Henry Phones, it features over 200 bunkers and slick, undulating greens. It asks a lot of a player in every aspect of the game. It is a fitting venue for the U.S. Open Championship, the final round. Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par 4, 462 yards.
Yeah, this one can play a lot of different distances. And the reason why is if you can sneak a driver to catch the downslope, it can run all the way down. You can have just a wedge in here. If you're not as fortunate and you leave it hanging up on that hill, it plays a good 200 yards for your second.
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway.
Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
This could be a good one. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Settles in over the putt. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. That is a solid par putt. Par 4 11th is 379 yards as we continue backside here at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Frank, what's the strategy off the tee here?
You're hitting something that goes about 240, 250 yards maximum, hopefully keeping it out of that right rough. And the reason why that right rough is certainly to be avoided is that big gaping bunker at the front of the screen. Green's perched up a little bit, so this is another one where if you can hit an iron or a utility club off the tee, you must find the fairway.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Good putt. We are at the par 5 12th here at Oakmont. This is a big par 5 at 667 yards. Frank, right where you want to be.
Oh, wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, what are you looking to do on this approach shot here at the par 5 12th?
Well, if you're not lucky enough to be able to get the second shot down by that greenside bunker, which leaves you some sort of pitch, you've got to avoid these two sections of cross bunkers. But remembering, you're heading to a side slope, so either draw the ball against the side slope or somehow aim it high enough up the hill that there's enough fairway for it to stop on.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. A good effort and a good par putt. All right, Frank, at the par 3 13th at 183 yards, what do you see here?
Well, there's a lot of things to consider, but the general slope of this green really makes you either hit to a specific section on the green or just try and keep the ball below the hole. It's always easy to putt uphill on fast greens.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's full.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
The reason Oakmont has hosted so many U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, is it has a really good blend of holes. And now we come to a short par 4 at 358 yards, the 14th.
You can see the predicament in front of you, bunkers left and right. But really the bonus here is if you can get the ball on the fairway with just something like a long iron off the tee, this is one of your best scoring opportunities at Oakmont.
Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This would give him the par. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Well, this is a good U.S. Open par 4 at 499 yards. The 15th is one of the better holes in the course, Frank.
It is. The shape of the tee shot you think would suit a cut, but because the fairway slopes quite severely to the right, really it needs a draw just to work its way against that slope and somehow keep it on the straight and narrow.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Can't hide the flag stick from that man. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Has it. That's birdie.
On to 16 now, a 231-yard par 3.
This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flag stick here, but it looks as though it will find the green. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie.
It's at sneaky distance. Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
So they'll tap in. Bogey there, Frank, but really not a big deal as we look at the leaderboard.
17th hole at Oakmont, par 4. Only 313 yards, and yet, Frank, it was so pivotal. The last U.S. Open played here in 2007.
It was pivotal for a lot of different reasons. Strategy being one. Some elected to go down the right side with just a mid-iron. Others went directly at the green, did not get the ball up and down. Furyk and Tiger Woods come to mind in that situation. You can see the green's just perched up there. If you do lay it up, you don't quite get a full look at this green because you have to lay it up down that right side.
That was not a very good read right there. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Well, Frank, it comes down to this. One more good swing, one more difficult shot.
And one more correct decision as well here, Rich. Different levels on these greens. This ball is going to have to land on the correct level to get the right result.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
To win the U.S. Open. Go ahead and do that, birdie. Frankie's done it. One of the biggest prizes in the game.
U.S. Open has always been considered golf's toughest test. There's golf's toughest champion.